Hey YouTube, hello family, welcome back to another video with me, your girl Cynthia. Thanks for stopping by on this Saturday. Today is Saturday, February 25th, and yeah, here I am. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe, okay? And for those of you that have subscribed, thank you so much. I appreciate you with all my heart. You will never know how much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I really do. And for those that are thinking about joining, I understand, I get it. I'm the same way. I don't join somebody's channel just to be joining it or just to subscribe, There has to be a connection. That's just how I am, There has to be a connection. We have to somewhat be on the same page. And what can you do for me on your page, Yeah, so I understand. But thank you for, nonetheless, for even thinking about subscribing to my channel. I want to tell you, hoping that this will help somebody if they're in a toxic relationship. This one here is a little surprising. And you'll understand why it's a little surprising when you hear about it. Everything in life that we go through it, whether we were meant to be there or not, whether we forced ourselves into it or not. You're supposed to get something out of it. And this is 2023. And this revelation hit me. It hit me so hard on yesterday that I had to write down the topic so that I wouldn't record anything else before I recorded this. So here goes. When I'll start at 15. When I was 15 years old, I discovered then that I had a determined mindset. And I couldn't wait till I turned 16 to start my first job. Because where I'm from, you had to be 16 to work. And I did. I didn't want to be on anybody's public assistance. I wanted to work. I wanted my own money. Because when you are under somebody else's care, whether it's legally or whether you're married or whatever the case may be, when you don't have your own money, you're pretty much dependent on someone else for whatever you need or for whatever you want. And I didn't want to live my life like that. I knew that. I saw that as I was growing up. And later on, in the later videos, you'll understand why. So I'm going to start here with this one. And everything will come together. So at 16, I got my first job working at Wendy's. I was so proud of myself for taking the initiative to start my life pretty much as an adult. As crazy as what I'm about to say may sound, it's true. I've been an adult all my life. I was an adult before I was an adult. I pretty much taught myself everything I know. I taught myself everything I know. And the list goes on and on. So as I got my first job at Wendy's, I didn't know how I was going to get to work. I didn't know how I was going to get home. But I was determined to try it. I was determined to do it. I was determined that I was going to be something in life other than what I saw around me. I was not going to have that. I couldn't, because it was so daunting. It was so misunderstood. I couldn't understand why the people around me weren't doing anything with their life. Thinking about it still upsets me. So bear with me. When I got this job, like I said, I didn't know how I was going to get to and from work, because where I live, there's no public transportation. If you have no car, if you don't have a car to get to and from, you are pretty much out of civilization big time. And I'm young, so I'm still trying to to get to that point. You know, you got to have a job to get a car. I didn't have parents to buy me a car. I didn't have parents to give me this or give me that, or regardless of whether it was a need or a want. I didn't have that. Okay, so when I started this job, it lasted maybe, I want to say 2 months. And the reason why it ended so abruptly and so short was because I didn't have my mother's support as far as picking me up and taking me to work. That hurt. Among some other things in my past, that hurt. Because here I was trying. But see, she never wanted me to work anyway because she was on the system. So if I'm working, that will be reported. That will be reported. So she would no longer get the assistance. But guess what? I didn't care. I didn't care. I was done caring. I was done trying to care. I was. And when I didn't have this job anymore, I was looking for the next thing to further myself as far as my life and as far as making money for myself. I went on to the next thing. And so I got pregnant with my son. I got pregnant with my son at the age of 16. I got pregnant when I was 15, but I had him when I was 16. So my plan then in my head was, my son's father, you know, I was at his house a lot. Pretty much when he was off work, he would come by, pick me up, and I would go to his house, and there I was. You know, I was at his house. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, this is my move to get away from home, to get away from what I've been through. I just need to go. I just need to get up out of this house. I need to go. I want to go. So that didn't turn out like I needed it to, or how I wanted it to. It didn't happen that way. So I had my son at 16. I'm trying to think. Okay. So at 16, I needed money. I needed to work because my son's father, he was so dry and cut. I had to ask him for what I needed for my son. And I'm not that kind of person. I feel like I shouldn't have to beg you or ask you for something that you already know about. I know they say closed mouths don't get fed, but I didn't know then what I know now today. But the fact still remains for me. When you know that a person needs a certain thing, especially if you got a child with them, there is no way you cannot know that they need something. No way, no how. And I got tired of it. So I went to the system, I went to the county, and I put him on child support. I tried to give him a chance, but I knew he wasn't going to do right. I knew he wasn't. So that was my source of income. I was still living at home with my mom. Still trying to find a way out. After that, when I turned 18, where did I work? I worked, there's a street on my in my town where it has McDonald's, Wendy's. It has everything on each side from left to right. So I think I tried just about every one of those places until I got tired of fast food. The only thing I really liked about fast food was because it kept me on my toes. It kept me on my feet. And it kept me going, you know, because I like to be busy. And it kept me busy. To this day, I don't want to go back to fast food. But I love the hustle and bustle. I love the rush. Okay? So at 18, I took the initiative to raise my son the way I needed him to be raised. You know, he was a boy, and his father was not there. He wasn't there. So I felt alone. But I did it. I did it. As time progressed, I took a class, and it was a certified nursing assistant class. I took it. I was determined that I was going to work I didn't care what I had to do, what I needed to do. I was going to work. Something was going to work for me, and I was going to try just about anything as long as I wasn't hurting myself or putting my child at risk. So when I took this class and I got certified and I saw what I was going to be doing, you know what you do when you're a certified nursing assistant. And mind you, I was young then. So in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, do I have to do this? Am I going to be doing this? But I had to. I had to because I needed to make money. Listen to what I said. I needed to make money. Okay, so this was the beginning of that journey, that long toxic journey, that long toxic relationship. When I took this class and I became certified and I started working in the field, I did it for 24 years. 24 years of my life I did it. And for the past 2-3 years, it really became toxic. Just like any relationship that you're in that's toxic, it means you no good. You might get a few or 1 or 2 benefits from it. And that's it. Those benefits you could get from anywhere. But because I was so comfortable in doing what I was doing, I can do it with my eyes closed. I perfected it. It became my comfort. It became too comfortable. And it also started to make me miserable. I was so miserable in the CNA relationship that it gave me anxiety. It piled on depression, on top of depression that I didn't know I had. And every time I would leave this toxic CNA relationship, when I couldn't find other work or find something that I wanted to do, something that would suit me or something that would at least make me happy sometimes going, I went back to this toxic relationship because I knew there I could make money, even if it wasn't a whole lot of money. I could make the money because we know as a CNA, you know, they try to pay you less than what you're worth. And you know, as a CNA, we are the meat and potatoes of the whole facility. We are that. We have the relationships with the patients. We do everything. Everything. So why they need people to pass out meds, I don't know. They may as well make CNAs to the point where they can pass out meds. Because half of the people that pass out meds, you can't trust them these days. Seen it for myself. See it all the time. But back to this toxic relationship. I've been in a toxic relationship outside of being a CNA. And I'm going to tell you, it is nothing different about it. Nothing. You want to go back to try to make it work because you think you can make it work and it'll work, but it doesn't. It further causes issues within yourself. It further causes issues with your mentality, thinking that you can't do any better. It causes issues thinking that you will never do any better. Yeah, that. I was in a toxic 24-year relationship. And every time I got tired, every time I said I was going to give up and I'm not going back, I went back. Fast forward to December, which is the last year, 2022. I had gone through so much at this job. I had been at this job several times because they were the kind of facility that they would take you because they're always in need. They always need somebody. And it was close to home. It's like right around the corner from my house. I could walk if I needed to, but I drove. But in the event that I needed to get there and I didn't have a car, I could walk. So that was another comfort. And every day I went, almost every day I went, it made me more and more unhappy. So I had to come to terms. When my daughter had her baby, which was my grandson, she had him in November. When she had him in November, in those moments that I took off to be with her, something on the inside grew within me. Something on the inside said, Cut the relationship. Cut off that toxic relationship. You're worth way more than you will ever know. Cut the relationship. If you don't cut it off, you will never know what's ahead. If you don't cut the relationship, you will never know what you can venture into. If you don't cut off the relationship, you will never know. You will never know. Isn't that just like a relationship with a man for the females? Isn't that just like a relationship with a woman for the males? Nothing comes from a toxic relationship. You're just like a mouse on a wheel. Spinning and spinning, going and going, but going nowhere. I was going absolutely nowhere in this relationship. Oh, don't get it twisted. Wait a minute, I'm not done. I went to school to become an RN. I was 2 classes away from finishing up my prerequisites. 2 classes away. Something would not let me finish those classes. Something wouldn't let me finish those classes. Here I was again, trying to maintain that toxic relationship, trying to stay in the field to maintain this toxic relationship. I said, okay, I can make good money doing this, yada, yada, yada. I can make twice as much money as I'm making now if I become an RN. God wouldn't allow it. He wouldn't allow it because he has something for me. He has something for me that he's had for me for a while. But I had to be the one to let go of the toxicity. I had to let it go. So was I going to keep holding on to something that wasn't benefiting me? I had to let it go. I had to step out on faith with hurting feet. I had to step out on faith afraid. I had to step out on faith not knowing. And it's okay. It took me this long to know that it's okay to step out on faith. God not going to fail me. He has never failed me. He has always come through for me. He's always come through. I've never been homeless. All glory to God. I've never been hungry. All glory to God. I've always had clothes. I've always had shoes. And when I said I mean my kids. And when I said I mean my family. He has never, ever let me down. So why would he let me down now that I've walked out on faith with hurting feet? He's not going to let me down. And I'm saying this to you. I'm sharing this with you. This very vulnerable moment in my life. I done took my hair out my head. I got my hair in a ponytail. I am supposed to be in the kitchen helping my daughter cook. But I needed to get this video out here. If you're holding on to something and you're afraid to let it go being afraid. God is not going to fail you. He's not going to fail you. If you keep going on the way you're going, then you're going to fail you. And you can't blame nobody but yourself. You can't even blame people. These people that I was working for and I was working under, they could have cared less about me no matter how good I worked. No matter how much I could have done this job with my eyes closed. They wanted me to take classes to do this and do that and do this and do that. None of it made me feel on the inside like I was satisfied. None of it. It was time to just let it go. Let it go. Let it go afraid. But in letting it go, work towards something that you know that you want to do for you. And if you don't know right now, pray about it. What do you like to do? What is something that will make you happy at least 75 to 80% of the time? Nothing is 100%. Nobody but God himself. What will make you feel good? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What was so hard for me as far as letting go of this toxic relationship was I have so much that I want to do. I love to cook. I love to read. I love to write. I want to be a ghostwriter. I want to write books. I want to do a lot of stuff. I want to be a motivational speaker. You know, it's a lot of stuff I want to do. So it's a lot of stuff that's on the inside of me. But the only way I could find out what that's going to lead me to or where it's going to lead me to is if I let go. The enemy wanted me to believe that if I let go, I was going to lose. No, I'm not losing. I'm winning. And I can't wait to tell you in further videos and future videos how I'm winning. I'm not bragging, but I'm bragging on my God. That's who I'm bragging on. I'm bragging on my God. Does it always feel good? No, it doesn't feel good. It's not meant to always feel good. It's just not. And if my voice is elevated, it's because I'm passionate about what I say. I'm passionate about how I feel. And I'm just so grateful that I was able to just cut away, cut the toxic relationship once and for all. I had over 20 uniforms. I packed every one of them up because I was holding on to those uniforms. I was holding on to them, but I had to let them go. I don't want to put them back on. I don't want to put them back on. I don't. I had to pack them up and get rid of them. I had to pack them up and get them out of the house. So whatever you have to do, whatever you got to pack up to get it out of your space, to get it out of the house so it doesn't surround you, let it go. You can do this, because if I did it, Lord knows you can do it. You can do it. Either you're going to trust God or you're not. And if you're having problems trusting him, let him know. Ask him to help him with your unbelief. But also look at the past. Look how far he's brought you. Do you think he's going to bring you this far to turn back or to let you fall or let you fail? You have to meet him halfway. You got to meet him halfway. You can do it. In the comment section, if you need support, if you need anything from me and it's within reason and I can do it, tell me in the comment section. I can share further with you my life, my journey, my experiences. Keyword my. I'm never going to lie to you about my life or what's going on in it. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to help you in any way I can. Any way I can. So that's why I'm here. But I'm going to end this video so I can go ahead and wash my hair or do whatever I need to do throughout the rest of this day. Thank you for tuning in. Share this video. Like this video. Don't be afraid to watch this video over again if you need to. Don't be afraid to do what I did in this video if you're going through the same things that I've gone through. You don't need to be in a toxic relationship anymore with a job that makes you so miserable, that doesn't appreciate you. You can bend over backwards. You can do cartwheels trying to help somebody or help them, and they could care less about you. You can be replaced within a second, within a millisecond. They can replace you. They care nothing about you. Cut ties with it. Be elevated. Let God hold your hand. Take that step. Okay? I will see you in the next video. And I love you so much. And when I say I love you so much, I do. And I haven't seen not one of you guys' faces. But I do. I love you so much to take the time out of my day to tell you about this vulnerable moment in my life. Very vulnerable. Look at what I look like. I care. I love you. And I'll see you in the next video, okay? Bye-bye.